All right, so we were pretty solid on that. I thought we were already in the rally, but I did say there was a possibility of this turning into a hump before the rally, and so that's actually what took place. And then we went into this high here. It's a little bit later than what I would have thought. I would have thought 1:30. It's roughly about 2 o'clock. We should have another high at the end of the day. However, I've got to leave, so what I think I'm going to do is sell against. Oh, and this is where I'm at right now. I did a lot of position repositioning. Got rid of those really risky near-term expiration puts, as well as cashed in on the calls. I bought back the expiration, the short expiration call that expired today. Matter of fact, I'll show you that stuff in a sec. Let me take care of this. So I'm going to sell these 522. I'm selling 522 calls, taking in a credit, and essentially capping off any additional gains for right now on this 516 call. So what I want to do is I'm expecting us to drop tomorrow. Now, listen, we might go higher, but I've got to go to a doctor's appointment, so I'm working a little bit ahead. I might be early here. I sold against this 516, a 522, creating a vertical spread. So in essence, I spent $200 for the possibility of a sorry, of a $600 spread. So if it does continue to go higher, I still will take in $600. But if it does go south before it goes north, then I'll be able to buy back this short call position for a profit, and then continue riding it higher. And I positioned myself also on the put, the short side here with the 523 put a little bit early, but like I said, I knew so. I knew I'd be a little bit early here just based on the fact that I got to go to the doctor's appointment. And I got it, the call just slightly nearer term expiration as well, because it'll depreciate faster than this would if we go in the opposite, if we go against the calls. If that makes sense. So ideally, and I won't be around to do this, ideally you want to sell the calls here at the close, because this will either be the same high or it'll be a higher high, I think, with the fortune card. You'd want to sell against the long calls, short calls here at the close, or more kind of like basic way to go about similar strategy would be to buy long puts right here at the close. And remember, here between 2 and 3, we have this move higher through resistance. We stay above it briefly, and we break back down through it with this full retracement. I think that means we probably go back down to this price level here and rotate sideways before we have another move to the upside towards the end of the day in that last hour. more like here. It really is. It's more like right here. So then on Monday, we should open lower. There's a significant drop off of the high. So the highs, there's a high here around 12:45-ish, and it looks like a pretty notable decline here, somewhere here around 2 o'clock, before it returned back to a peak at the end of the day. So what I'd want to do is close out of, if we have that sharp drop that I'm looking for over the weekend, then I would close out of those short positions right at the open. And I'd probably get back into short positions in the morning on the 26th, especially with this clairvoyant impression of the unicursal that I got while doing this reading. Do I see an all-time high in Shibcoin in April? Hey, Hamza. Shibcoin is actually one of the tickers that we're going to be keeping, FYI, for our regular monthly covering. These are all the tickers that we're continuing. All others, the ones that were here that you don't see, they've been discontinued, but Shibcoin's on the list. You get, in the paid version, if you guys don't know, you get the best trades, the timing of the best trades that we see. And then because it's sometimes plus or minus a day here or there, we also give you what type of chart behavior to look for as far as entry and exit into those trades. If you can read a markup on your own, we also tell you what trades to avoid. And then that's where we get into price level information. Hermes, are you? Oh my God, really? He just like shredded all of the, like an entire paper towel roll all over my floor. You little paper shredder. You little paper shredder. Hermes, no. That's the one thing that he does when he misbehaves. He shreds paper. I don't have toilet paper rolls on the rolls in the bathroom because he'll like shred it. That's literally the only bad thing he does. Get your butt over here. Now, would you look at that? I did expect us to hit it today, but still, we're in reasonable range. Like, it may really come to that for SHIB. Oh, excuse me. But there is a rally, it looks like, out of March. It could be anywhere in here, actually. But then we've got this big move at the end of the month, so it's probably like this, but it could be all the way down here. It could be. So I'm going to put that like that as a possibility. Pretty big move to the upside on the 27th. And this has been really solid, guys. See, sometimes what'll happen is you got to remember these monthlies will blend, the edges will blend together just like all of the other time scale readings. So like this is the highest high, and then from the highest high, this 16th is the lowest low. But you got to cut out the very beginning and see that as like the end of the previous month, which really in the March reading. Sorry, I gotta reverse and look back as I'm looking at the wrong month here. So forget what I just said. Let me go back and look again with with the March reading. I'm looking at the April. Sorry, guys. Good old Mercury retrograde. Exactly the type of thing. What the heck? Oh, here it is. All right, so we were close. We had a high on the first, second, and the fourth, fifth. And it looks like it was a highest high on the first, second, and then we went into a higher high on the fourth, fifth. I have one for the ninth as well. Looks like we came back really close. I have a lowest low on the 19th. And really, there was a prominent trough on the 17th as well. I just didn't have it as a lowest low. There's a lowest low on the 19th. And then, like I said, you want to cut off the very edge of this. And that's why I say the range could be from here all the way down to here, because we could be talking about like absolute low for the month, or we could be like talking about like relative lowest low based on what we had to work with for the majority of the month. Hopefully I'm explaining it well. So that's right. And then on the 26th, 27th, It's pretty much the same. Funny. And then a pretty big rally in the very last 4 days of the month. Like we had similar with Bitcoin in the last 4 days of the previous month's reading. So highest high in April. Yeah, it's very possible in April that we do. Let's see if there's a cross reading congruency there. Yeah, right there. Boom. Um, Also, the ace of discs in the high correlator position does indicate a pretty significant high on like a 1 year chart scale. But to be clear, it'll be like a highest high thus far, possibly the same high, and I think it may even be like on the cusp of April May. Like right when we look at it from the 1 year, it's on the cusp, and then we have a lot of indications of one here at the very end of the month on the March reading. Sorry, they're so similar. I keep getting them confused. We have it a very similar here on the April reading. See how similar they are? It's like I keep thinking I'm looking at the other one. See that? Interesting. But I think it's probably there towards the end of the month. There's a big move down into a low and then a big move up to a high. Oh, hey guys, I didn't see everybody hopped on. Hey, it was like, hey, Young Finn. Well, Tesla, Nvidia, and Netflix have higher highs next week as compared with today's price. Hey, let's take a look. Oh, next week, not next month. Got you. I was looking at next month. Sorry. See, this is what I'm talking about with there's going to be some wild stuff going on. Let me close out at this one. All right, so let's start with Tesla. Oh man, so that was the price level right there, that purple yesterday. So there's a low in Tesla on the 25th. I'm not seeing higher price levels really. I mean, there's possibility there on the 28th. So hold on, let me see. Possibility of one on the 28th. It's not the clearest. It might be that we come back to like this price level on the 28th. That's probably what happens. Or it might actually be the 27th. The 27th or the 28th. 27th, 28th. It's a little unclear, but I think we go from a low on the 25th back to like a relative like high, probably around this price level, like 177 there at the end of the month. And then we should go into significantly higher highs somewhere in April, May, probably May. Well, will you look at that? Will you look at that? I wonder how long ago I put that there. It was days ago, that's for sure. Right, so we should see a really big drop here in NVIDIA. This one's got a low there on Monday as well. This is why I basically capped off my gains, like my profit potential to the upside with the calls by selling against it. And I did it at a high price level because if I'm wrong and we continue to go higher, that'll expire as an extremely profitable vertical call spread. But if it does what I think and it drops significantly, right, then I would buy back the short call at a much lower price. Because again, I see us going higher. Let's see if it's the same in NVIDIA. That one's tricky, but I think there's probably another highest high in there. It's really tricky. Wow. Because there's a sharp drop there in May, it looks like. And it looks like there is some possibility on the 27th, 28th of coming out of a low, probably like a double bottom or something here, coming out of a low pretty significantly to the upside and maybe seeing another high somewhere around there on the cusp of the 28th into the following month. Yeah, it looks like there's a high. See what I'm talking about? There's going to be some crazy whipsaw action that goes on here in a lot of stocks next week, guys. So that's why I'm saying you want to enter into next week, trying to position yourself as much as the time permits here. Try to position yourself in both directions. Don't do it at one shot if you don't have to. Like, and by that I mean don't put on both legs in each direction at the same time if you don't have to. If you can put them on one, a little bit at a time. At this point, if you haven't done it, you probably have to do it at the same time. But my point is, you want to position yourself for like this big swings next week, and there's very likely a higher high in Netflix next week around the 28th, 29th. Probably, the 29th is not a trading day, so the 28th. And will you look at that? I was like, it's probably going to come back down to here. Why? Because we have this move higher through key resistance. We stay above it briefly, break back down through it with the same, with a full retracement, right? So this was the key resistance. We broke through it, broke back down, and now we're seeing this. This is probably not going to be so much like a sideways rotation as it'll be like a steady climb into the close, is my sense. It could be sideways rotation and then a big pop near the close, or it's kind of like a steady climb into the close. And I'll have to leave in a half hour, so I'll likely not be around to take opportunity there, which is why I was doing all my positioning here, because this was like the midday high. All right, what we got? Wondering how the rest of the semiconductor stocks do as Nvidia declines next week. Will AMD do well next week and into April 22nd? So I got the Ace of Discs overall for AMD, so kind of a really wild card to get overall direction. But it does mean there's an important support that's highlighted. We could already be like hanging out around it based on the 1 year chart. Or a year-to-date chart, I should say. But let's see what we have on like a daily basis here. Yeah. Okay, so we've got this selling from a peak on Monday into Tuesday, sideways rotation, big reversal on Wednesday, and then this move to push the upper end of a range higher on Thursday, like a really big move to the upside on might even start on Wednesday, but big move at the end of the week there. And then from here into April 22nd, I might actually still have something that I like. It might not be worked on, but I might actually have a reading for it for Nvidia, anyways. Yeah, I just don't think it's marked up. Not marked up. So April 22nd is right here, where we have this just preceding a unicursal hexagram energy. And without doing the markup, I would say it's pretty bullish early in the month. The low is probably over here. And it may very well be like a revisiting. Hard to say where the other low is. There's one or two lows here around this. What is that? The 24th. And highs are a little bit more tricky. This is very toppy over here. The Ace of Wands and the Abundance card. Wow, you can hardly see that. Yeah, I think this is probably the low here. We don't have a Knight of Discs. So, like, without getting into a full markup, I could say that this is probably where the low is here around the 24th, 25th of April. But that's after a significant, it looks like, pump. So, guys, special offer expires next week, and then come the following month, we're gonna have 50% off offer on custom monthlies. But if you're looking for that special offer link, I'm gonna release that again on the live on Friday. So I'll announce it again on the live on Friday. So be sure to be on if you're looking to get that special offer. The special offer currently running that I'm talking about is buy 2 1-year readings for $600, which is $400 off. Sidewaysy. Oop. So and that's what it looks like from a 1 month, from the 1 year standpoint too. There's a peak in the early part of April, and a trough in the late part of April, and then it looks like we might even go back to a peak again. So AMD overall, or excuse me, yeah, AMD overall for. Matter of fact, I have an AMD reading. Oh, I thought I did. I don't have an AMD reading. Gonna have to do an AMD. So overall into the 22nd, overall trend direction between now and April 22nd for AMD, significantly to the upside. I got the Lust card for that. Hey, Washington 34. Should we expect a sharp decline on March 23rd about SPY or Bitcoin? And thank you. Really, you are the best. Appreciate it, Washington. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think there's probably a drop over the weekend. That's what I've positioned myself for, is a drop over the weekend here. But I'm not totally short. I have a long position too, which hopefully I'm right, and I can then buy back the short leg of the long position. so that it's just a straight long call going into this high here. Hmm. So there, I am seeing a sharp drop on the 23rd, like in the earlier part of the day or around the cusp of the 22nd, 23rd, but it's followed like very, very shortly after by a big move to a high, like a big move higher to a high. So it's pretty mixed there. But I see a lowest low for the month. So first off, we had a lowest low around the 19th, 20th. Boom. We nailed that. And then there's another one here around the 26th, 27th, which I expect to be lower. Now, it could go all the way down to here, but I don't think it's going to. It is a possibility based on the reading. We could go all the way down here, but more likely it's going to be like, it's more likely to be something like that, but there is I'll make this a little lighter color. All right. There's Hermes and everyone else. I mentioned a highest high in TLT in April. Can I give guidance on which week? Sorry, I didn't see you all the way down there, my friend. This is the one I keep referring to and saying, man, I'm going to write it down this time. Are you on my marker, Hermes? Little goofball. Heck is my marker? Oh, there it is. Thank you, Hermes. I love you too. It looks like it's probably like on the cusp of the first and second week of April, but it's followed like by like there's a big move into it, and then it's followed by a sharp drop out of it, and then we come back to close to it on the like the cusp of April, probably early May. It's pretty wild over here, guys. This looks really wild to me, actually. Re-riot, will there be a lower low in April as compared with current price? I got a no for that. Does Grayscale LTC and Grayscale LTC... I think you probably meant something different the second time. You said Grayscale LTC and Grayscale LTC outperformed Riot in 2024, 2025. I got a unicursal. Weird. It looks like it does outperform, yes. Oh, appreciate it, Washington. I've been following you from Turkey for 2 weeks. Thanks to you, I earned good money with my limited English. Really, thank you so much. I appreciate the feedback, my man. So the best way to thank me is to follow through on the channel's rule of karma, right? We ask that 5% of the profits be donated forward on the resources tab of our website. 5% of the profits, not the full investment, the profits be donated forward to a charity here, one of these links, or one of your choosing, something in Turkey maybe. And then 5% of the profits should be donated back to the channel through one of these links. We also have this donation in the navigation bar right now. It's going to end up being moved to right next to Zelle here on the resources page. But for now, especially if you're international, this is a good way to utilize follow through on the rule of karma. We now have the ability for people to donate in all of these different currencies. All you got to do is use your phone and scan the QR code. That's the best. That's the most important thing. Really, the whole purpose of the channel. So please make sure to follow through on that, my friend. I'm glad that you're making money. How does Ethereum? Hey, Proof. How does Ethereum look on the weekend? And I'm gonna cap the questions here, guys, because I've got a long walk ahead of me. Oh, and also Washington, if you don't know, we also have a private Discord server. People that regularly follow through on the rule of karma for the channel get an invite to the Discord. It's a free Discord only for people that follow through on the rule of karma regularly, and it's kind of like a mini community, kind of like the inner circle of our Tarot for Traders. So hopefully I'll see you there soon. Ethereum over the weekend. Where's my March Ethereum? I didn't even come close to saying Siri. What the heck? Do you want to go down, Goof? am I? Here we go. Hermes, don't you go shredding paper again, you little mischief maker. Yeah, so we probably see another lowest low here. We probably come back to these price levels are probably a little lower. So yeah, it looks like we probably come in somewhere around here. I probably said that we revisit a low. I might have said it's lower, but I think it's lower, and it's not that we're revisiting this low. We're revisiting a different support level. And then by the 27th or the 28th, wow. Pretty wild, guys. Pretty wild. Just reminding everybody, questions are capped off here because I gotta roll. But let's see, XRP. Also, XRP's lowest today, 22nd, but Bitcoin on the 26th around per monthly. Does it mean XRP bottomed already? I nailed that. Look at that. I nailed that one. So I have something around here for it as well, which might be a modification actually. So let's take a look at the reading. No, XRP hasn't bottomed. I've got this thing over here. This is where it'll bottom out, somewhere around here. Something like that. Although I want to widen that a little bit. Man, that is so crazy. There's like a low and a high in here. Oh no, it's a low. It's not a low and a high. I was reading that wrong. So that's where it bottoms out. Does Grayscale Link outperform? Was it Riot in 2024 and 2025? I got a yes for 2024 and a no for 2025. All right, my friends, with that said, I'm going to roll. Thank you all so much for watching. So just a real quick recap. You want to be positioned in both directions going into next week for some like significant price swinging volatility. We'll probably see a higher, like our high for the day here at the close, in which case I would probably open up a short position there because I think there's probably a pretty sharp drop over the weekend here. And this is where I'm at personally. I've got like a capped off long position. If we continue to go higher, it'll take in 600 bucks. But if it goes lower, I'll buy back this short position for a profit and then allow for it to swing back to the upside and sell that 516 call. But I'm also on the short side here. And I basically got a bunch back into cash. At one point, I had $11 cash today. It really sucked, but it was necessary at that moment in time. All right, my friends. Blessings to all my angel investors. You know where to go. You know what to do. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys.